Hello. Um, Welcome back. This is a very, very rare baseball episode because in just a few hours, the Philadelphia Phillies, the number 2 seed in the NL, will take the field for the first time in October, which, if you don't know, means playoffs. But I'm sure if you're watching this, you do know because it should be in the title. The series name. They will face off. Not a great actor for them. A little bit unlucky. Um, with the Dodgers being the Reds. We knew that would happen, but it's just unlucky that the seeding worked out to where they'd have to face the Dodgers as the Brewers got the Cubs. And actually, right now, the Brewers, it's the bottom of the second inning, and he scores 8-1 for the Brewers in Game 1 versus the Cubs. I knew it was 6-1. I just checked it's 8-1 now, so it's getting even worse. Um, but so the first thing I want to talk about with this is our pitching ideals because we do have a every time. Very interesting strategy. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read this article. Okay, I think I can because I don't. I'm just looking at this article to see why we're doing what we're doing. I know what we're doing, and you're gonna know what we're doing in just a second. But um, okay, so Zach Wheeler, if you don't know, had a season-ending injury due to a thoracic 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 maybe outlet syndrome. And Sanchez, Chris Sanchez, who will be on the bump today, our ace for this playoff run, will be our number one pitcher versus them today, and we are using all lefties for the first three games. That Christopher Sanchez is going to start game one. Then we're going to have Mr. Ranger Suarez and then Jesus Luzardo in games 2 and 3. As that, and maybe they'll pitch Luzardo game 2, but it's going to be a mix of Ranger slash Luzardo and then 4, or potentially depending. Maybe he pitches Walker in 4. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, because if he pitches Walker 4 and they lose, they can roll over and pitch Sanchez 5 when their backs are more against the wall, depending on the series score. But honestly, if the Phillies are down at that point in the series, 2-1, uh, he's on the mound. But I think if they're up, they might not pitch him for Game 4. And the series could be over by that point. It's best of 5, so it's not like the NBA where it's all the same. It only gets the best of 7s once we hit the championship series, which is the semifinals. So the one after this one. But Freeman's really good against lefties, but he bats 300 against lefties. But the thing that is saying is JT said that we think that, where he thinks that the lefties are really different in the way they pitch and like the pitch mixes they throw. I don't know too much about baseball. I know they're all really at least decent pitchers. So what JT is saying is it's not like, you throw two guys back to back who have just like really good fastballs and everything else is kind of mid, but they all have kind of their different stuff. So you can't really settle into a rhythm of how you're going to swing the bat game to game. Walker Bueller. Okay. Walker Bueller would be game 4 if we're up in the series, I think. That is interesting. He was with the Dodgers last season, so if he gets on the mound, that would be interesting to see um, how they do. And then, so the righties in the Dodgers lineup, righty-lefty matchups, would be Ohtani and Fred Freeman. Fred Freeman very good against lefties, but Ohtani, um, who knows? Who knows how good he's going to perform against Christopher Sanchez? Will he perform when he has Sanchez right in front of him? Is the question. Um, but Christopher Sanchez versus lefties gives up a .189, very good, .478 OPS, and 1 homer to a left-handed batter. Um, when he faced Ohtani, he struck him out 3 times and gave up 4 earned runs in that game through 6 innings just about, so that's not a great look. But he also faced the Dodgers in late September with Ohtani pitching, and Ohtani got a single, but also struck out twice. So versus Ohtani, 1 for 6 with 5 strikeouts is what I'm seeing, and the Phillies won that one. So yeah, Ohtani is 1 for 6 with 5 strikeouts versus Christopher Sanchez. So actually, now I got to know, because I'm putting this in my if I make a bet for this game, that's going in the bet. I gotta see what the odds are. Ohtani to strike out if he's done it 5 or 6 times against this dude, and Christopher Sanchez should be pitching for a seismic amount of this game. unless he absolutely craps the bed because the Phillies don't have that great of a bullpen. I gotta see it. It's batter strikeouts right at the bottom. Oh, they only have Kyle Schwarber up on the batter strikeouts. Maybe they'll have it somewhere else, but I'll have to look later and see that. Um, and Sanchez says that it was a beautiful experience to face up against Otani, so he's excited, it seems, for this matchup. But anyways, I also want to talk about like the decision to kind of like do what's best for the team and benching our boy Nick Castellanos. He is benched because he's not as good. And that's very interesting. Oh my gosh, when did Trey's healthy? Is this true? Trey Turner's back. We'll talk about that, I guess, too. No. But is Nick playing today is the question. He is not. Again, Nick's going to be on the bench for game one along Sosa and Otto Kemp, Weston Wilson, and Marshawn is our bench. So it looks like the order is going to be Trey Turner in the leadoff, Schwarbombs bat in second, Bryce Harper in the 3 spot, Bohm cleanup, Marsh 5th, Realmuto 6th, Kep and Bader 7-8, and Stott as the kind of backside leadoff. Yeah, Stott's used because he has a decent contact and speed, so it's kind of like a second lead up at the end of the third, or at the start of like the third inning, end of the third inning, like in that range. So that's kind of what that is. And I'm glad to see Turner's back because he's batting over 300 this season. So he'll be a really nice help for the Phillies. But anyways, now I'm going to give my serious prediction because, as you can probably tell, I'm not the most well versed in baseball. I like to watch playoff baseball. I don't know too much about baseball in itself, though. But like, how am I not going to upload a video about a Philly sports team being in a playoff situation, especially against a great team like the Dodgers? So, game one, Sanchez on the mound. I gotta give it to us. I gotta give it to us. 1-0 Phillies. I think Sanchez goes 6 scoreless. The Phillies are up 3 by that time, and they don't let up. Phils win. Monday, we got Jesus Luzardo, probable pitcher, on the mound. I think I gotta give this one to the Dodgers, unfortunately. Just thinking about it, I feel like Luzardo's not going to do that great. So I'm going to move on and give them that win 1-1. But I think Ranger gets the job done. Playoff Ranger, Mr. Ranger. And I think that the Phillies take a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 will be Thursday night. They will play back-to-back nights, and then if Game 5 is necessary, it would be on, I think, Saturday. Yes, that's Saturday, so it would be a week-long series max. Game 4, if we're up 2-1, like my prediction, I think Walker Buehler's on the mound. I'm going to go to the Dodgers just to be fair. I think there's like a real good chance we win that game, but just because he was on the Dodgers last year, I'm going to go to them. But I am going to let us close it out in 5 games, maybe with a little biasy, because Chris Sanchez is the GOAT of GOATs. The Phillies advance to the championship series where they will face the Brewers, win in 5 games, face the Yankees, and beat them in 6 to win the World Series. It's really that simple if you think about it. There's nothing more to it. It's quick math. Don't try it again. You know what I mean? And, 6, 7 games in the World Series, they're going to win 4 of those 6 or 7 games that they play in the World Series because they're going to win the World Series. Anyways, thank you for watching my attempt at a baseball podcast. And I'll be back with my Sunday predictions like usual. And then probably I should make a video on the Sixers, even though it's all bad news. So it's like, do I want to or not? But I probably will have to eventually because the season is coming up. And we are playing some preseason games. Now, I'm pretty sure we lost to the Knicks for the second time today. But I knew we were down 10. I didn't watch the end of the game, though. So I will have to check that we did lose. It was only by 8 points, though. So let's see who performed well today. Let's not do that because no one did. Anyways, thank you for watching again, and goodbye.